Gemini 你好。
你好，各位观众好，我是 MCX 的打野 GEMINI。
So, firstly, of course, what a long back and forth series. Congratulations on that win. Just tell us what your thoughts are right now. 首先当然要恭喜 MCX 战队以3-2的成绩战胜了 BME Sports 拿下本场比赛。那Gemini选手，你现在心情如何呢？
就赢的当下，现在已经比较放松了。刚刚在打的时候都维持着很紧绷的状态。
So he said that now that they've actually managed to secure the win, he feels so much more relaxed right now. Earlier, he was just kind of trying to like hold all the emotions in because they hadn't won that game number 5 yet. But now that it's over, he feels like he can calm down a lot more. So the next question that I have to ask, of course, is did your team expect today's series to go all the way to 5 games? Of course, this is the first time in PCS Summer Split that a series has gone to all 5 games. 那今天是打了 PCS 夏季赛首次全5场 BO5， 然后今天的3-2胜利有在团队的预期之内吗？
原本可能以为会3-1或3-0，就是比3-2顺利一点，但可能我们角色没有掌握得很好，跟游戏中前面遇到一些乱流吧，所以导致变成打满5场，然后自己也蛮紧张的。
So he said that that the team actually before coming in today they were kind of predicting a 3-0 or a 3-1. They weren't actually expecting 3-2. They mean in their favor, of course. But the way that they were playing today, they didn't play very well, and like they were just selling themselves out throughout the series, and that was how the entire series went on to a game number 5. So they definitely didn't expect that. So my next question that I have for you is I wanted to ask how the team managed to reset your mental before going into that super clutch, crucial game number 5, since we are in the lower bracket elimination rounds right now. If MCX dropped that game number 5, you would have been out of the competition and out of the split for this year. So I wanted to ask how you guys managed to keep your mental in check. 那接下来想问的就是你们在关键的那第5场之前是怎么稳下心态打赢回来的呢？毕竟今天刚才的那个第5场是稳稳的把他给带走了。
觉得第5场也没有稳稳的，就前面也有一点点小小的失误，但我们在第4场打完的时候，我们的后勤有一直安慰我们，然后中期我们的大哥 Koala 也有一直就是提醒我们该做什么，然后什么不要做。
So he said he actually doesn't think that they were able to, that game 5 didn't go 100% smoothly. He said that especially in the earlier parts of the game, there were some instances where BME Sports had the lead early on, but he says that after that game number 4, he wants to give credit to his teammates, like the older brothers on the team, for really being there for everyone else and constantly encouraging them, saying stuff like, "You've gotta play this." That we still got the match and we have to play this properly and just to calm down. And as he mentions, Koala in particular during the game was just encouraging the team members. So I want to ask you about game number 2 in particular, because in that game, Boom Esports, they picked a late game composition. They had the Vladimir as well as the Jax, but they were able to get the lead in the early game. So yeah, I wanted to ask about that, how much of it was due to maybe it was the Vladimir or if it was just Ruby being so good on Vladimir, even though it's not a meta champion right now. So the next question that I want to ask... 那接下来想问的就是想跟你聊聊关于第2局的赛事。你认为呢第2局没能拿下胜利的原因会是什么呢？就你个人就觉得 团队取得胜利没取得胜利，是因为对手上了吸血鬼的问题吗？多少是因为阵容，比如说 Diana 配上 LeBlanc 的组合不太好打吸血鬼，还是 Ruby 个人的发挥特别优秀呢？
觉得这2点应该都有吧。就我们虽然是比较弱势的中野，但我们应该还是可以打到自己该有的效果。而我们可能前面不小心失误太多，然后送给他这个血鬼后期角太多人头，然后导致他在中期的时候有点太厉害了。我觉得没事没事，
继续，请。
我觉得可能是我们自己前面打不好的关系吧。但卢比也玩得很好。
So he said that it's definitely a bit of both, like the fact that the sort of composition they picked, like Diana and LeBlanc, weren't able to pressure out Vladimir. They're not very good versus that matchup in mid. But also the fact that Ruby was just very good. He said that the team made a whole bunch of mistakes in the early towards the mid game, and once you give up that sort of advantage to a champion such as Vladimir, it just became really difficult for them to play versus Vladimir after that. So he says they made a lot of mistakes in the early mid game, but it's definitely a bit of both and not just one. That was the reason. So the next question that I wanted to ask was that the caster desk mentioned that MCX is a very strong team at punishing enemy mistakes. For example, during that game number 1, despite the fact that Boom Esports was able to get that first blood, get that lead early, your team, on the other hand, were able to bring it back at Herald once you guys got the advantage. After that, you guys just pretty much suffocated out Boom Esports. So my question to you is, do you think that this is one of your team's biggest strengths, just being able to capitalize on enemy mistakes? And also, how much of this do you think your team can rely on for the rest of playoffs? Because we're in the top 4 right now, and the other teams left are pretty good. So, yeah. 那接下来想问的就是刚才主播台有提到，就是 MCX 战队是一支很会处罚错误的战队。比如第一场 Boom Esports 虽然在前5分钟有了优势，但就输了预示者那一波之后，还有那2条小龙，MCX 就一路推进，不给对方任何反打的机会。然后GEMINI选手认为这是你们战队的强点之一吗？还有就如果在接下来的季后赛，就因为已经是前4了，就不能靠敌方犯错误。
觉得这算我们战队一个优点吧。就当看到边线对方会少人的情况，我们会有主动的英雄会积极去尝试开团。就算觉得可能失误了也没关系，但就尝试，然后不要让自己后悔。
So he says that he definitely does think that this is one of the strong points for his team. He says that definitely, especially in those situations where they have the man advantage or they feel that they can catch someone out over on the map, definitely they kind of go all in those sorts of situations to once they see an opportunity, they try to capitalize on that. So he also said that as a team or just as an individual, he feels that he doesn't want to have any regrets during those sorts of plays. So they see an opportunity, they're going in. So the last question that I have for you, I have to ask, of course, how confident is the team in playing J-Team tomorrow, especially because MCX, you guys already beat J-Team twice during the regular season. So are you guys going to go with the same strategy, or do you maybe think that playoffs J-Team is a different beast? 那最后的问题想问的就是明天对上台北战队会有信心吗？毕竟例行赛的时候已经赢过他们2次，你们是会用一样的套路，还是会觉得例行赛台北战队可能有所变强了？
就我觉得例行赛的 J-Team 跟季后赛的 J-Team 相比，可能成长很多吧。尤其是他们的上野一直在积极进攻，我觉得这是明天对让他们要小心一点的地方。然后觉得明天可能也会跟他们打满5场吧，因为看他们上次跟 PSG 打的内容真的蛮好的，就有点可惜。
So he says that he definitely thinks that regular season J-Team is an entirely different beast from playoffs J-Team. He thinks that playoffs J-Team has gone a lot stronger than they were during the regular season. He notes that especially their mid as well as jungle are playing a lot better now, playing a lot more aggressive and making those plays. He said that for tomorrow's series versus them, that's definitely something that MCX will have to look out for themselves. He also says that he was watching their match versus PSG previously, and he also feels that J-Team performed very well in that series, and he feels that, the fact that J-Team weren't able to win that series was a bit of a wasted opportunity for them, and he thinks that tomorrow versus J-Team will also go to all 5 games. So thank you so much, Gemini, for today's interview. Of course, best of luck to MCX tomorrow. 好的，那非常感谢 Gemini 选手接受今天的赛后采访，祝 MCX 战队明天加油！主播回你们喽。